As Director of Intervention and Support Services, really my goal is to work with schools when it comes to trauma. And so we define trauma as anything that has happened to a child that is so out of control or so impactful that they lose the ability to live, to love, to learn, and to laugh. And so when that happens in the school system and in the classroom, then teachers feel that effect. So what we want teachers to do is to recognize trauma, understand what it is, and then set up an environment for children so that they can start to heal. I do a lot of things. First of all, I teach them what trauma is, because teachers are so focused and they love to teach. They want kids to learn, but this allows them, with the training that I do, to go back and think that I'm not just teaching a subject, I am actually teaching a child that may or may not have experienced trauma in their life. So what I teach them is all about trauma, what it looks like, and it never looks the same for all children. Trauma, what traumatizes one child may not traumatize or look the same for another child. So I teach teachers to look deep within kids. We have this saying that we use. We want them to ask not what's wrong with this child, but what has happened to this child. And this gives you a totally different perspective in their behavior. Not that they're being malicious or trying to be disrespectful, but maybe they're hurting so much inside that it's their outcry. And teaching teachers that, we do a lot of activities and we do a lot of discussion, and it's a paradigm shift. It's changing the way they think about what they do. And once teachers know it, and they kind of get over that tender part of their hearts that love children, and then you see some real mindsets starting to change about kids' behavior. When we think about the number of children that we have in Smith County that have yet to come through our doors here at the CAC, then we realize we have a lot of kids out there who are needing help and needing to heal. What we do not have in Smith County are schools that are trauma sensitive or trauma informed. Therefore, the need for this in our county is great. It's really difficult to find other schools in the South where trauma sensitive schools are happening. There's only one that I'm aware of in the state of Texas, and it's in Austin, and they are still in their pilot program. So starting this trauma-informed school program that we're doing right now is a new thing for Smith County, and really it's a new thing in Texas. And so I'm glad to know that we are really making some headway with kids and starting that healing process in the classroom and teaching teachers how to do that. When we talk about trauma in the classroom and some signs of trauma, we talk about looking for kids who kind of behave in a hypervigilant way. What would not bother most kids is really big for them. For the teacher to say, oh, your mom is not quite here yet, she's on her way. This child might begin to cry or to hide or to scream or to become extremely fearful. So those children are always in a hyper-vigilant mode. We call it the freeze, fight, or flight mode. And in those modes, you will see a variety of behaviors. You might see children who are quiet. They may say nothing because they're hiding their feelings because of the trauma they have experienced. You might find children who can cover it really well, but one specific incident can just take them to this place that you might not have seen. And that is when we hope the teacher will say, what has happened to this kid? And then in that relationship that they've already built, they start a conversation and get to know that child better. That's where the healing starts. And with our kids, yes, teaching them all the subjects that the state of Texas requires is important. But if we have a child who doesn't feel safe, who has not formed a relationship and cannot express their behavior and their thoughts appropriately, then there will be no learning in the classroom. So being a trauma-informed school is everything to moving forward. As a matter of fact, research says that when kids are able to feel safe, have a trusted adult, and regulate their behavior, their academics increase greatly. So it is a perfect pair to have those two things working in the classroom together. I have two grandchildren from the foster system who were abused and neglected, and now they call me granddoll. And I know and have been able to see them in the school in Austin that is working on trauma informed. I've watched them in their home regulate their own behavior because of what their teachers have done. It's so rewarding to me to see that in my own family and to know that other families will be able to grow and see that same progress in their home. It's just my whole life of teaching has just prepared me to love kids, and now to be able to take this step and help to give another layer to staff members so that they can make it better for kids, it's a dream come true.